Good morning, good morning. It's Wednesday. Halfway through the week, you guys. We're almost there. If you only work weekdays, I suppose. If you don't, I'm sorry. Today I was thinking about something that's weighing heavy. Well, then again, that's almost every time I make a video, except for when I'm filming chickens, right? I kind of have to reflect a lot on myself this last couple days. Um, I have to kind of humble myself and wonder if, some of the things that I think about and that I see that I don't like in other people, is it something that I do myself? And you're probably sitting there like, what the hell are you talking about? Um, I'm talking about the people in your life and supporting friends and loving each other. I always tell you guys that I love you and that, you know, I tell you to love each other. And I do try my best to follow that. Um, but how much of it can I actually walk the walk? You heard that phrase, talk the talk, but walk the walk. And how much of it do I actually walk the walk? Because I'll be honest, I have friends online and long distance friends. My best friend I grew up with is in Seattle, and she has a son, she has a life, and so it's convenient for me to keep in touch with her because every once in a while we kind of fade away for a bit and then send another text like, "Hey girl, how's it going?" And it's good, and there's no real obligation there to do anything really out of my inconvenience for her. I'm not going to go into the definition of what I feel a friend is because I'm not exactly a good friend personally. That's the self-reflection. I do care for others, and the hard part for me is acting out, or how do you say it? Implementing actual friendship. What kinds of things do you actually do to be a friend? Um, I have another friend. Well, actually, I have two that I want to give the world to. My girl Tiffany and my sister. Tiffany's a sister too. I mean, we're all my beloved sisters, but Tiffany and Anissa. Anissa's not really into YouTube or anything, and I actually live about 5 blocks from her, but I don't get to see her much. She actually is victorious over breast cancer, and she's a fighter and a survivor. But in the past months, she's been very sick and declining, and I keep texting and asking, "What can I do for you, sis? What can I do?" But she's she's got a big family. She's got a large church family. She used to go to the same church I did before I was asked to leave because I'm not perfect. So, but she left that same church too, for other reasons, and she was one of the few people, actually she was the only person, her and her husband, that never shunned me out for the reasons that they asked me to leave. And because of that, um, I find her as faithful as a friend as I could ever ask for. And now she's suffering, and I feel like there's nothing I can do. Um, I try to cheer her up. I make things for her. I made a macrame angel. She loves angels, and I gave it to her. I just want to see if I can do my best to make her smile. And same for my lovely Tiffany. The thing with Tiffany, and I love you, sis. I do. And you know that I've sent you things, and I just want to lift you up and encourage you anytime I can. But I question myself. I have myself questioning myself as to how much of a friend can I actually be? How much of a friend can you actually be? Faithful are the wounds of a friend. This is Proverbs 27:6. Profuse are the kisses of an enemy, but that's more along the lines of being deceived by people who say they are friends, but they're not. But faithful are the wounds of a friend. Got me thinking about, you know, I'm a full-time working mother, and my husband and my son live with me. We have animals. We have all these obligations that are right up in our face. And as I had started to talk about, I'm not a big people person in real life. I mean, that's kind of how I started this channel. It was more for me, just being able to talk about things that's in here. And I had tried to do the counseling thing at the Veterans Hospital. They offer free services for veterans, and it was very PTSD related. And you know, a lot of it to me is, it hasn't felt very PTSD-ish. And so I find myself journaling to myself. But I have had people, you know, would you like to go out Friday night? Let's go have dinner. Let's go talk. Let's just go talk. And we should hang out. And I'm like, no, no. I just want to go home at the end of the day. And it's not that I don't like people. It's not that I'm not trying to be a good friend. It's just that when I just don't have friends that I don't want to be around people once I'm done. And maybe it's me. And I've noticed that through the years of my life, anytime I felt like, oh, I need to have friends, I want to have this friend, I want to go out with them. And so I start planning to go out, like, okay, Friday night, we're going out. Say today's Wednesday, and Friday night, I make plans to go to dinner with somebody. For the next 2 days, I'm stressing. Like, oh my God, I just want to go home. I don't know if I want to do this. I wonder if I could call her and just say this, and it's nothing against the person. It's just me. And so how many times have I said love each other, but how many times have I actually done something to love somebody? The best that I can do usually is encouragement by words, speak life. And most of the time it's virtual. It's usually by phone call or text. But I ask myself, like with my sister Anissa, am I using the fact that she has a lot of family and friends already as a crutch to not go there and do anything? I've actually debated on going over there this weekend because of this thought, and be a friend and make her smile, do something for her, take her out. You don't have to take somebody out and spend a bunch of money on them. Sometimes just taking them outside because they're stuck in a house all day can mean the world. Get them outside to the park and just laugh at the freaking pigeons. Whatever. I know that was something that my stepmother did for my dad when he couldn't move around much, and it made his whole week. And it could probably make Anissa's too. And if I was there in the state where you live in, where with my sister Tiffany, I so wish I could just take her out, because some people are so sick they're homebound. And if you've ever been homebound and you get that cabin fever, it's demoralizing. And so I started reading about what it really means to be a friend. And it's hard because everybody has different love languages. And I know that it pertains to relationships, but the meaning of a friend to a lot of people is different, because I have trust issues. So for me, with a friend, if you're going to be my friend, I need you to be, I will be honest and loyal to you until you tell me, until you give me a reason to think otherwise, in other words. Um, I opened my heart up last fall to three wonderful women that were long distance. They were moderators for the YouTube channel that I moderate for too. And you could have thought we were all the photocopy of each other. Had so much in common. But here's another thing about friendship that I started reading about in the Bible that I realized is why that never prospered. Does the person that you call a friend bring out the best in you or the worst in you? Do you find yourself in a group of people and you start saying things and doing things that you're not so proud of? That was me. And roundabout New Year's is when I really started to reevaluate whether or not the love for these three wonderful women was making me a better person or not. And I feel like it was not. I was saying things and doing things that were spiteful and mean and angry, just to be because it kind of fed off of the way they were too. And we were all feeding off each other. And we had this blowout because I suddenly just stopped agreeing with everything they said. And it just ended. Like we ghosted each other. Now we kind of work together as moderators and it's fine. But we never say anything to each other. And I'll be honest, I am glad. Because since January, since everything, the big changes in my life, I feel so much better about who I make friends with now than who I was friends with then. Because now I know if I become your friend now, it's not going to be because of anything superficial. It's not going to be a selfish, how do you make me feel kind of friendship. Are you making me feel like a badass? Are you, contributing to me? But more like, what can we do to help each other grow? What can we do to really love each other, right? And I'll put this into some scripture that I found and that really made me realize a lot of this about myself. I first one of always goes to Proverbs. I mean, hail to Proverbs. They always have something to say, and whoever wrote that thought of everything. In Proverbs 17:17, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. A friend loves at all times. This means good and bad. So it's easy to have a friend. And this is where the thoughts of my sister Tiffany come to mind. Is friends are easy when things are good. Fair weathered friends are in abundance. Of course, when you have money, you're going to have a lot of friends. If you're the funny person in a group and you're a pleaser, you're a yes man or yes woman, you're going to have a lot of friends. But the moment you fall ill, the moment you go through hard times and you are really in need, where are these friends at? Who really comes out of the woodwork and doesn't pass judgment on you? We've had friends from high school, I remember years when I was in college, called us up in the middle of the night. Me and my ex-husband at the time, we weren't married, called us up in the middle of the night and got busted. He was in jail, got in a fight at the bar. It's Seattle, Pioneer Square. You go down to Pioneer Square, you go drinking, and you got nothing else to do but get in a fight. So we went down and we bailed him out. But this was the kind of friend, the difference between me and my ex-husband is that he was not my friend exactly. So I passed judgment. I didn't want to hang out with him anymore. I didn't want him around anymore because he's the guy got thrown in jail. And I was better than him. My ex-husband, he was very loyal. He's a very loyal man. And regardless of whatever happened to his friend, he still loved him. He continued to be friends with him. In fact, he just moved up to Washington a few months ago, still friends with the guy. The guy's straightened out by now. I mean, we all do stupid things when we're young. He has a wife, he has kids, and he even gave my ex-husband a place to stay until he could find his own place. And for me to have judged him back then was very shallow, very immature. I was not a friend. My ex, that was his friend. And they're true friends. For John 15:13, I found this one. Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends. This one for me is a big military thing. I see a lot of people in the military who, without question, will lay down their life for people they don't know, for even people that don't appreciate it. People that will spit in their face and take their freedom for granted because these people that sign up for the military, regardless of what you think the military is actually doing, now that's a different concept. Those who volunteer to enter the service do it with the intention of serving others, whether or not they realize it, whether or not they think they're joining the service to get a free education, free medical, steady income, whatever. If you have the character to give yourself, your time, your life for people you don't even know, let alone somebody you do know, that's faithfulness of a friend. That is somebody who asks for nothing in return. And those are the kind of people that are made of real love, regardless of whether or not they end up becoming a stupid airman and making mistakes, end up with articles and LOCs and LORs. I'm going to have to tell you guys some military stories sometimes because I was a complete jerk in the military and I don't think I ever want to go back there again. But Proverbs 27:6, faithful are the wounds of a friend. There it is. Profuse are the kisses of an enemy. Remember I said fair weather friends will be in abundance? Profuse are the kisses of an enemy. Everybody will love you if they have something to gain from you. It's when somebody's in real need and actually takes work to be a friend that you notice everybody starts to disappear. Is that me? Is that you? I hope not. But I have to seriously humble myself and think about that. A man of many companions, this is Proverbs again, a man of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. That's Proverbs 18:24. This was probably the one thing that stuck out to me the most. A man of many companions may come to ruin. If you are popular and you have a ton of friends, you're going to have a lot of people around you. Of course, they love you. They'll always be there for you. I'll never do anything to turn my back on you. I'm always here for you. That's what these other moderators always said to me. And then the moment I had a different opinion, ghosted. There is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. That's why, brothers and sisters, when I talk to you all, I would gladly embrace any of you if I ever met you in real life. I have tried to be the person that has no prejudgment, and I'll do anything for somebody I love, and I'll kill myself trying to help them. But like I said, once you give me a reason to think otherwise, that's all I have for somebody is love. And I try to be that person that sticks closer than a brother or a sister, because sometimes a friend can do so much more than actual family. And I hate to say that, but they always say blood is thicker than water, but blood is also more poisonous than water at times. So be careful about that. Who's toxic in your life and who's actually loyal to you is two completely different things. Um, Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also the interests of others. That's Philippians chapter 2, verse 4. And one more, Galatians chapter 6, verse 2. This is the other one that stuck with me when I was reading through about my beloved sister. Bear one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. Bear one another's burdens. Um, that's the kicker when it comes to helping each other and loving each other. Are you still going to love somebody when they become a burden? Now, I hate to say it that way because nobody should be an inconvenience, but it is hard. It is hard, especially like my husband's parents moved in with us for a little while because mama started having signs of Alzheimer's. And we both worked full time, but his older sister just couldn't bear to take care of her anymore because, well, to be frank, she said because mama's becoming a pain in the ass. That's not how I would ever want my son to describe me. I mean, we felt so sorry for them and we brought them into our home. And it was hard. You want to talk about burdens. My blood pressure was through the roof every day because it's not like they're grateful all the time. Alzheimer's is just a form of dementia that the person loses their personality and they become something else completely. And you can't take it personally, but it's still there. If you're wondering, the sister changed her mind a few months later because she couldn't support herself financially. She has a husband who's on drugs. I'm just throwing shit at them now, but there's a little resentment from me because it was inconvenient for them to take care of mama, but once they realized that without daddy's income, they couldn't make it on their own. His sister only ever worked full time, her husband never worked. So without mom and dad to pay for the house bills, they couldn't find a place to live. A few months later, they ended up saying, well, you're right. You both work full time. We should have been more considerate. I'm sorry. I have this phrase called grab the shovel. It's where you start shoveling shit because it's just a bunch of crap. But I felt bad for mom because this is my mother-in-law. She never even knew my name. She called me everything else in the book, not bad words, just never could get my name right and just never. She would say things to me like, I like you so much better than that girl Bobby was dating a few months back. And I was that girl. And so she didn't like me. But, that burden, when you're trying to carry that burden out of the love for somebody, it takes a toll on your heart. It takes a toll on your health. Do you do it regardless? I think I would have, even if I died of a heart attack, just because I love my husband so much and I saw how much his mother meant to him. My sisters, I have my two beautiful sisters that are battling these cancers. One has all the support in the world and the other is completely alone. And what can you do from thousands of miles away? And you just do what you can. And is it superficial? I don't know. I do what I can, and I hope that others can do what they can in her world, where she's at. But for all the rest of us, I mean, not you. If you're happy with the way you are as a friend, then that's for you. But it's made me question how much of myself I can give as a friend, especially if someone were right here with me. How much of my time as a busy full-time working mom and chicken mama and cats and dogs and husband and son and all that, how much of that time would I actually pull away from my family and spend it with somebody to help carry that burden? I don't know. I try. I try to encourage through words, through sometimes videos with you guys here. I try through gifts. Some love languages for some people, they appreciate gifts. Others is quality time. For others, it's acts of kindness. I can't conduct acts of kindness through the internet except for words of encouragement. That's another one. Words of encouragement, acts of kindness, gifts, quality time. And I think affection is the fifth one. And acts of kindness and affection, I can give myself wholeheartedly, especially to my friends, my husband, my son. Making time for somebody, that quality time, is hard for me physically. And as a person receiving that as friendship and receiving and perceiving that as friendship, I try my best. And so the other way I show love to others is sometimes I do gifts. I love to do little gifts. I don't like to do gifts as in, here's a Visa card for $50, enjoy Amazon. No, I don't. I usually make things like my sister made that for me, my sister Tiffany. And those kind of things mean more to me because when it comes from your heart and you made it with your own hands, when you write it with your own words, it's more personal. That doesn't say that Mama doesn't appreciate gift cards to go shopping. When my husband gives me like a $100 gift card to go shopping for shoes, I'm okay with that. Yes, I love that, man. But a home baked pie, a homemade dinner, you know, here I go back to food again. I mean, food is quite the love language in itself, but I guess the bottom line is just we all have our own way of loving each other. I mean, one sentence of encouragement can mean the world to somebody, even though you think it's lame. Some of us think it's lame to get a word like, hey, I miss talking to you. I hope you're doing well. Some people read that and they're like, yeah, okay, moving on. But others read that and they're like, oh my God, this person cares. And that can change somebody's week. And so I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. I just needed to get that out. I do love you guys as best as I can. If you reach out to me when I get comments, I always try to reply because I want you to know that I care about what you think and I appreciate your input and that you guys take the time to hear what I have to say, even though all this vlog journaling, video journaling, or whatever it is that I'm doing here today, even though it's for me, that I started this for me, and now it's become like a lot of people watching me. It's weird, but if I can give something back to you in some way, just know that that's my way of loving you and answering your comments. And if you got something nasty to say, you know what? Okay. I don't take anything personally. I really don't. But if you have something to say, criticism wise, I don't take it personally. In fact, there's a few of you that have pointed things out that I was like, they got a good point there. I should stop making videos while I'm driving. Yeah, you got me there. Especially with my son driving now. So, I do love you guys. And when I say I hope you love each other, I hope it's not making you feel like you have to love someone the way everybody else loves them. You do you. Find your own way. Do what you can. If it's not a lot, at least it's something. One comment to somebody. Sometimes I even do a greeting to some stranger on the street. Today, I made a point. When I went to my favorite diner to have breakfast, I noticed there's always this little Hispanic girl. She's so sweet. She's always sitting at the bar. She works there. She's in uniform, but she's doing homework and studying before her shift. And then she usually stands up and starts working right about 8 o'clock when I get my food and I'm about to leave. And I asked her today, I said, like, what are you studying for? And, I wanted to make a point to, to talk to her and to tell her that, whatever it is you're studying for, good on you for working and studying and putting your effort into it. I didn't say it like that, but I did tell her, good on you, because she said she's studying to be a nurse, which I just kind of laughed at. But God bless the nurses, because they wade through the blood and the piss and the shit that nobody else wants to. Um, but it's a hard life, and she's such a sweet girl. I hope it doesn't turn her into something else. But I told her, good on you, because that studying and that hard work is going to pay off later on. And she just had the biggest smile. And I'm hoping that's the way I can love each other with people, even if it seems superficial. I mean, it's just one fleeting moment in her day, but anything. And I might not be able to give much. Maybe you're not able to give much, but anything is something. And I've had times when somebody has said something to me, as small as it was, it made a difference. So that's what I bank on. The bigger stuff, we'll get there. Someday, my sweet Tiffany, my sister, maybe someday I'll be able to come over there and we'll go to the park, or we'll take you out and you can dump your burdens on me. I'll take it, but we'll see what happens, because everything in this world is so unexpected. It's changing. You guys be careful. So, the last part of everything I say, stay salty. Some of you have already figured out where I got that from. Let's just say that originally I wanted to name my channel Salty Queen, but that was already taken. So, if you find the YouTuber that says that his thing is the salt must flow, and he's a little crazy and he's a little, like, just, I don't know, want to say angry, erratic, but he is a fanatic and a lunatic, and that's what I love about him. So I do admire this YouTuber, and he's all about the saltiness. So I like it, and I love that passion and that inspiration. So that's why I say stay salty, because I want you to stay inspired and do what you do best, whatever it is, as long as it's not illegal. That's what it means. So I love you guys. I hope you love each other, and stay salty. Take care, you guys.